What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Now today I am starting off the year with just an impressive looking cigar. I mean, it's one of those cigars that stands out in our humidor or your humidors at home. It's the biggest size cigar available in the UK at the moment. There's a couple of brands that carry this size, but this is the one that sort of piqued my interest for today. I thought, you know what, we're into 2021. 2020 was a bit of an iffy year, so I'm going to start the year as I mean to go on, smoking the best possible cigars I can. So today I've got my hands on the Alec Bradley Texas Lancero. Now this just beastly looking, 7x70. I mean, it's as big as my face for a start off, and any cigar which is as big as your face, it's probably going to be pretty interesting. This has got a really unique blend as well. It's heavy. It feels heavy to the feel in the hand. It definitely feels well balanced and well weighted. It's not kind of, you're not picking it up and going, where is everything? So we've got a Nicaraguan wrapper, Indonesian binder, and fillers from Nicaragua, Honduras and Costa Rica. So you've got some really unique blends in there, some really unique tobaccos. This isn't just, you know, a kind of one-dimensional cigar in any way, shape or form. That Indonesian binder is definitely going to come into play with this one. But I've set aside some time today because I know this is going to be a long one. I've got my laptop out. I'm going to be doing some work away as we kind of make my way through this one today. So let's stop talking. Let's get this beast of a cigar cut and lit. Let's see what that first third has got. It's probably going to take me about an hour to work through the first third, but let's see what it's doing. Now, before I do get into this one, I just wanted to point out a couple of things. Now, this cigar comes with a really interesting little finish on the tail there. It's got this cute little pigtail. I'm not sure if you can say cute when it comes to cigars, but this one's got a really cute little pigtail. Now, you've got a few options. Obviously, with this being a 7x70, that 70 ring gauge, it's going to be a little bit too heavy for most cutters. The options you've really got is you can pull the cap off. That's going to leave you a really small sort of pinhole aperture there to take your draw through, or you can get a punch cutter and make a rose pattern, sort of 3 punch cuts in the top there. That's going to open up that draw really, really nice for you. I'm going to start off with a V cut, see how it goes. If I have to do a couple of V cuts into a cross cut, we'll see what the draw's like on the first few puffs and work my way through. But just wanted to show you guys that because you don't see pigtails in a lot of cigars anymore. It used to be the thing. It's definitely that kind of final flourish. That's that, you know, that sort of almost artist signature at the end of the cigar, that flourish to the cap. I really like them. They sort of stand out in the humidor. They can be a little bit brittle, so also be careful when you're taking the cellophane off. Make sure that you don't kind of catch that cap there if you're storing these cigars in your humidor uncellophaned, or leaving them in the cellophane to when you then take them out to draw. So let's get into it. So I am less than an inch into this at the moment, and the draw is impeccably good. It's not too resistant, it's not too light, it's just the right amount, and it's making the flavors really sit with me for a long time. Getting a lot of leather coming in there with some nice amounts of spice. Not too heavy on the cream at the moment, but there is a nice sweetness in there, and it's almost like a it's like a lemon honey. So there's a little bit of a zing in there, but it's got that smoothness of that honey, and that honey's really thick, lingers with you between puffs. That finish is exceptionally long. Now I did mess up on the cut on this one, and that's my own fault. I got briefly distracted while I was doing the V cut, but even that being said, it is holding strong, and the ash is stacking up nicely. Little bit wavy on the burn, but it is self-rectifying as well. With a cigar of this size, you are going to have a few little inconsistencies just with the initial light, and maybe with the cap if you're, you know, a little bit careless like I am. But the experience is there, and this is definitely, cigars of this size, they definitely need to be experienced. If you are a fan of smaller smokes, take the punt and go for one of these. You won't regret it. A 7x70, some of these cigars at the moment just are smoking incredibly well. If you can get one with a little bit of age on them as well, those 7x70. So you've got the Texas Lancero. We've also got this CAO Flathead 770, and there's also the Asylum 13 770. So there's a few out there to try. Completely different, each one of those cigars as well. Completely different flavors, completely different blends and experiences for you all, but definitely ones that you need to try. This is the first time on this one for me, and I'm surprised. I was expecting maybe quite one-dimensional, just because it's quite a large smoke and you're not really going to get very much out of it, but I am getting those peaks and troughs of flavour, and they're really, really nice. So I'm going to sit back, take this one down a little bit further, because I've been going at this for about half an hour so far, and I've barely cracked, scratched the surface on it. So let's see what, as we make our way a little bit further up, let's see where those flavours take me. I hope you'll join me. So carrying on chipping away at this, I'm about just over an inch in. Definitely first third is done and dusted. The continuation of the flavours are in there. Still got the leather, that little bit of spice in there as well, that little bit of the zing, and I think that's coming from that Indonesian binder. That beautiful honey sweet note that kind of lingers and hangs around between puffs. It's just really, really nice. There's been some more introduction of some woodier notes in there as well. There's quite a nice dry cedar note in there. And I say dry because it's quite almost astringent in its way. It stops that constant salivation that you've got from that honey note in there, and it just kind of cuts through and makes everything a little bit more more approachable, definitely more noticeable. It kind of dries out the palate just the right amount so you can pick up those other notes and it doesn't get overwhelmed with the sweetness. This ash is stacking up incredibly well. Like I said, it has balanced all the way out pretty much. And I'm just really, really enjoying this. I'm massively surprised that it's got that much complexity and that much depth. Like I said, with these bigger ring gauge cigars, especially on some of the massive ones, I've seen, I think I saw one the other day, there's a Cro-Magnon, which is 122 ring gauge, which blows my mind how you'd even start smoking it, let alone smoke the entire thing. I feel like a 770 is probably the maximum you would want to go, just to actually be able to enjoy it and to be able to sit back and take it down and just really pick out those notes. So I'm going to carry on with this one. I'm going to make my way up just below the band before I come back with another update. I'm about an hour in. And I have been doing some work and I've been doing, pottering about, but this is an hour of smoke. The ash is still holding firm, that nice, beautiful Nicaraguan ash. Those Costa Rica notes are in there as well. Those Honduran notes are coming through, and it's all just working together perfectly. So, just to mention, I did go and grab a straight cut. We've got the Big Daddy 80 ring gauge straight cut, just to kind of open that up a little bit, because the V cut was getting a little bit resistant on me. So I just wanted to open up that drawer so I could really get all of those flavors out there. Definitely, if you are going to buy this cigar and you haven't got a big ring gauge cutter, head to the website and pick up that big boy. It's either the Big Boy or the Big Daddy. I'll have to double check. There's also a nice Angelo 80 ring gauge cutter as well. So definitely a few options there. If you want to go for a straight cut on this, you're not limited to just your normal, sort of 56, 60 at a push ring gauge cutter. Gonna stop talking, take this one down a little bit further, putting together some amazing offers for 2021 that you're not gonna want to miss. I'll talk about those soon on a later video, but I'm gonna get back to this one. See you soon. So just about over the halfway mark on this one, ash fell off in a beautiful stack just into the ashtray. So far, the flavours have been consistent. Still getting those nice coffee notes coming through there. Still the nice little bit of cream, not overwhelming cream at all. It's definitely not a creamy weighted cigar in that way. But there has been some introductions of some newer flavours. Some baking spices are coming through, cinnamon, nutmeg, and also some nuttier notes. Walnuts are the one that's kind of standing out to me. The draw has just continued to be beautiful. Definitely go for a straight cut. I feel like with this one, a straight cut or that nice flower punch is going to be the one for you. V cut, I would steer it clear, just because it doesn't necessarily give you as much of an open aperture to really get all of those flavours onto your palate. But I really, really, really am enjoying this cigar. I wouldn't say low expectations. I didn't have pretty much any expectations. It was just going to be a big cigar that I could set some time aside and enjoy. Now, I did want to point out the band on this one, because I really, really like this band. Let me just put that down there. So this band really stands out. It does exactly what it says on the tin with this one. The Texas Lancero, big, bold, bright bands. Alec Bradley's bands are always very, very aesthetically pleasing. I like the filigree on there, and it came off really easy. Self-adhesive band. And some of these bands, sometimes you do get a cigar where they've just got a little bit too heavy-handed with the glue, putting the band on, and you pull a little bit of the wrapper off, and there's nothing worse than that. So I do like these slightly thicker self-adhesive bands, and this one's come off all in one, so it's going to go straight into the journal. And we did have some comments and some people asking about the journals. I'm working away in the background on them. They're going to be coming soon, probably towards the end of the first quarter of this year. So definitely keep your eyes out and your ears out, and keep an eye on social media for them. And I want to see them again at the end of the year when you filled them out with your bands and your tasting notes and your scores and everything that you've enjoyed from the cigar. I'm going to get back onto this one, take this one down a little bit further, finish this middle third and see where those flavours take me. I'm really excited to get into the final third of this one, because I feel like that mass of tobacco in there is going to bring some really interesting notes for me. So I really want to see where this takes me. I hope you will join me. I'm really enjoying this. Thanks for tuning in. So I'm through the middle third on this one, and there's been some sort of turning up of the flavours really. The spicier notes are definitely coming to the forefront. The leather is definitely drifted to the back. That honey note that was pretty consistent up to this point is still there, but it's more at the end of the finish. And there's been some introductions of, there was some coffee creeping in the middle third, and that's come in with some real nice sort of dark roasted coffee bean. Almost, I don't know if you ever get an espresso martini, and if you're like me, you sort of happen to end up eating the coffee beans for a reason unbeknownst to yourself. You get that kind of semi-sweet, little bit of acidic in there as well, but those beautiful rounded coffee notes. The draw has just been phenomenal all the way through this cigar. So much tobacco in this cigar, you would almost expect there to be a slight inconsistency in the draw somewhere along the line, but that's just not happened. And I'm thinking to myself, have I necessarily overlooked the bigger ring gauge cigars without much evidence as to why I would? Definitely going to be picking up a few of these. I feel like these are going to be better for more of the summertime. You know, if you're around the barbecue, you can start it when you light the barbecue. When it gets up to temperature, you can kind of chip away at it. And also think about maybe some soft drink pairings with this. Maybe a root beer or a dandelion and burdock, something that's got some nice floral notes to sort of counteract those more spicier leather notes in this one. The final third for this one, I'm just creeping into, and I haven't picked out anything yet, but I'm going to take this one down as far as I physically can today and really pinpoint all of those final flavours in the end of this one. But I just want to say that this has been an incredible smoke so far for me. About 2 and a bit hours in so far, so definitely if you are going to smoke this cigar, set aside the time so you can really enjoy it. Clear your schedule, clear your diary, and just really sit and enjoy it. It's an experience to be had. So to take this one down a little bit further, let's see what that final third has got. So far, I've just been having, I've had a really good couple of hours personally. So let's see what that final third's got for me. So coming down to my last bit of time with this one today, in that final third, the intensity definitely picked up. It was pretty medium all the way through, and just in the final third, it's crept into a sort of medium to full. Now this is a cigar that I really want you guys to experience. It's reasonably priced for the size of the cigar. Don't forget you are getting a 7x70, and it's just a smidgen over £30. So it's definitely one that is worth the go, and it's definitely one that you're going to enjoy, and you're going to get your money's worth with just the time of the smoking. If that sounds like it's something you'd like to try today, head over to the website right now. It's cigars.com. That's cigars.com. If you've liked this video, as always, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my upcoming videos, and let me know in the comments section what my next cigar review should be. What other big cigars do you want me to try? Until next time, guys, I hope you are all having an amazing 2021 so far. I know we're only a few days in, but let's hope for this year to be a lot better than the last. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Peace.